Hey guys, it's Alex. I just wanted to make a video and show you what's going on in the garden after having a really heavy storm system roll through. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what's in the greenhouse and then take you out and show you the garden. So over here, the tomatoes that I brought out from inside are doing well, but it is really humid in this greenhouse, which has caused them to sprout roots along the stems, especially this one for some reason. This is a sunrise bumblebee, so that's a cherry tomato. And they are leaning over, but that's okay because I'm going to plant them deeper when I put them in the ground anyway. Down here, we've got spinach, cilantro, and carrots all doing good, and I'm going to set that tray outside in just a second to harden them off before planting them out. I'll do that a few days in a row so that they can get used to the wind and stuff. Strawberries, all doing good. This one has tiny little strawberries on it. I didn't bother to pluck them off. I'm just going to let it do its thing. The watermelons are doing good. Peppers, tomatillo over here doing good, also sprouting roots along its stem. So I'm probably going to plant that as deep as I can. It's sprouting roots up to here. So I'll probably take this leaf off and plant it all the way up to there. This is the flower that I dug up at the river when I was taking my dog for a walk the other day, and I just thought it was pretty. I love how the petals are like spiraled together, and then they slowly like unspiral as they open. They're so pretty. I don't know what those are. If anybody knows what that is, let me know down in the comments. Must be a Missouri native plant because there was tons of it at the river. These radishes need to be planted out, and these peas need to be planted out. They're already hardened off. I only have them in the greenhouse so that they didn't get whipped around by the wind. And these rutabagas did become very leggy while they were inside and have started dampening off to an extreme that I don't think I can fix. So I did pull a lot of these out of the pots. They're just kind of sitting on top, and I'm going to dump the soil out into my extra soil container and then just reuse the pots in the soil. But I am going to plant out the radishes even though they are a little bit leggy also. And nothing has sprouted in these yet. It's only been 2 days since I planted them, so I didn't expect them to sprout. I just check on them way too often because I'm a plant mom and that's what we do. So the container garden fared pretty well during the storm, not a lot of damage. Most of the damage that I do see is from squirrels, so I'll show you that. Got new growth coming in on this chard plant that is so bright green. It is making me happy. There was some spaces all along here that was dug up from squirrels, or could be birds sitting on the side of the container and digging. But I did just kind of push that back into place. And same with this one. The lettuce is actually getting bigger, so hopefully I'll be able to eat lettuce. Kale is doing good. The parsley didn't actually get hurt by the rain, which is good because these leaves don't hold themselves up a lot. They're pretty floppy. Oregano also doing good. Nothing hurt by the rain. But all this whole section was dug up by squirrels and I had to put it back. These two parsleys are getting quite big, and these spring blush peas are doing great. Their stems are actually really thick, and their tendrils, there's so many of them. They're quite prolific already, even though they haven't produced any fruit yet. Like, look, this one through the fence is connecting to that one. Just wants to live. Squirrels have dug up here a little bit, and it just doesn't care. And this kaleidoscope perennial kale is getting big. Oh, I'm going to be able to use parsley soon. I'm so excited. Napa cabbage leaves after the rain are like very soft and lighter green than they were before. I don't know if that's just because they have extra water right now, or maybe it's just getting time that I need to harvest them. I know I'm not going to be able to let them come to full heads, but I will still eat most of these leaves. I don't really mind. And then this cabbage down here starting to make a tiny little ball. I think that's adorable, but I don't think I'm going to be able to eat a cabbage from it. This pea that I broke while planting is growing its new stem just there like I thought it would. Doing good. And all of these peas also doing good. I just brought those out here like I said I would to harden off. And this is what I mean by the squirrels are my nemesis. This is a deep hole. It goes all the way down almost to the bottom of the bucket. So I'm just going to refill that, and I hope it didn't disturb that garlic, that specific one, too much. This one is so thick. That looks like it's doing good. I'll probably be able to harvest this garlic in the end of May. Just a couple more months. It's looking nice though. I have this grate on top of here so the squirrels don't dig in it, yet they still did, and I just kind of pushed it. Oh, yeah, there's more evidence. I just kind of push it back into place. This is where I planted those carrots, and there are no sprouts coming up in there yet, and I don't expect them to. I have this on here to keep it moist, and because it rained, I didn't want the rain to displace my seeds, and it worked pretty well. This was actually filled with water, and I had to dump it out. Over here, we had a little bit of squirrel damage, but not a lot. That's just a weed I'm going to pull out of there. This lettuce looks like it's getting a little bigger. This is celery. Oh, this is a cabbage that's going to seed. Oh no, this is a bok choy that's going to seed. I'm actually going to pick that right now so that I can at least eat something from it without it being bitter. This is it starting to flower, or bolt is what it's called when they start to flower. And these are just cooler weather crops, and it's been above 80 degrees for the past couple days, so I'm not surprised at that. This broccoli, yeah, that broccoli has a tiny flower in there. We'll see if I'll get to eat the actual broccoli itself or if it sprouts. That one is lighter green too in comparison to what they were the other day. I'll see if I can put a picture in here to compare the green color, because those Napa cabbages, this Napa cabbage also looks like longer. It looks like it's grown really tall instead of bushy, which is a sign that it is starting to bolt also. But I don't see any actual flower in the center, so we'll see. What about this bok choy? Yeah, this bok choy is getting really dense in the center, but I don't see a flower down in there. But I am going to go ahead and harvest this. I would say cut it, but I don't have a knife out here, so I'm just gonna twist it until it pops off. And I don't mind if I break a few leaves, and I'll just leave the whole root base in there if I can to decompose into the soil. There we go. Not quite a clean break, but it'll be fine. Just kind of push that back down in. And this says bok choy, so that can come out. I'll just set him on top of the carrot thing for now. So yeah, I'll probably have to cut out these Napa cabbages soon. Maybe I'll make chicken chili for dinner so that I can have those underneath it. And if that bok choy and the Napa cabbage is starting to bolt, then that definitely means that these Brussels sprouts will not have time to do anything. It's going to get too warm too fast. It's going to get warm too fast for these brassicas to do anything if the bok choy in the other bucket is already bolting. Then these definitely will not have time to do anything. This is Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprouts, and some broccolis. I'll leave the broccolis in. Okay, I rechecked down inside this bok choy, and there is a tiny flower developing in there. So I've decided we're gonna have fried rice for dinner, and I'm gonna eat this before it gets too bitter. It was above 80, well, around 75, 80 degrees for the last 2 days, even though it was raining. So I think that's why they didn't completely bolt and like stick up a flower stalk. But there is a flower way down in there, so we're gonna get this. I don't know if I could bring you guys any closer, honestly. I can try. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to lift up all these leaves. Actually, I'm gonna cut these bottom ones off first, just to make it easier. I'm gonna make sure I know where the other stems are, the broccoli and this cabbage. And then not in this white part, but underneath where you can see it's like connecting to the soil. It's gonna be thinner down there, and you can just leave the root system in to decompose and give it back to your soil. So I'm just gonna stick my knife in the dirt a little bit and cut. There we go. pak choy. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. This has been my pride in the garden for the last 2 months. I'm a little sad to cut it out, but I'm happy to eat it. That's huge. This is it, like, not far from me. It's right next to my face, and it's that big. It's bigger than my head. So I'm gonna have to eat leftovers for the next 2 days, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with garden leftovers. So now I'll just clean up some of these leaves. I'll go ahead and take off some of these bottom Napa cabbage leaves also, so that they're not sitting on the soil. I'll probably have to harvest the Napa cabbage within the next couple days, but it's not supposed to be hot, so I don't think it'll bolt any faster than it's already going to. So I'm just going to store them in the ground out here until I need them. I also don't even see a flower down in there, but there's a lot of leaves, so I mean I could be missing it. I think I'm gonna get a few of the radishes out of the greenhouse and plant them right here where the pak choy was. I didn't bring a shovel out here, and that's my bad. But I've got 4 containers of these French breakfast radishes that I'm gonna plant in here. One of these is kind of broken, but well, there's 3 in this container and 1 is kind of broken, so I'm gonna pull that one out and toss it and plant these 2. Might have to break some of the roots of the plant that was here before. That's fine, because it's not there now, and those will just decompose and become part of your soil. Branch literally just broke and fell out of my pine tree over there. I heard it and watched it happen. So that's cool. Oh yeah, those are definitely ready. I'm just gonna plant them a bit deeper than they were already planted and fill it back in with the soil. There's one. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. I do have oregano right here that's doing good. It has a lot of new growth. I don't want to get too close to that because that is going to be pretty vigorous. So I'm going to put one of them over here and one closer over here. Those are pretty root bound and stuck in there. They've been in there a bit. Probably longer than they should have been, but better late than never, I guess. If nothing else, I will learn. Last one, that's where that stalk goes into the ground, so I'll put it here just against the edge a little. I'll try to still give it enough room to bulb out and not be constricted by the container. So this tag says French breakfast and 313, so I'll stick that right next to this one on the side. Ouch. That's it. Just added some radishes. I'll take these containers back inside with me. Sorry about the wind, I'm sure that's loud. But I'm also going to plant some radishes in this container. Celery is doing really good. I hope that has time to do something for me. the radishes. So in that other container I did French breakfast radishes, and in this container I'm going to do daikon radishes. This will also deter the squirrels and birds from digging in here, because they don't really care about the plants. They want to dig in the soil, which is annoying, but at least my plants are okay. This is a bit root bound. That's okay. Planted deep. They are radishes, so they do grow in the ground, so give them a good ample amount of space to bulb out underneath where you're planting them. Move all the soil back from the edges and just use that. So that's one. We'll do another one right here. This one is pretty broken. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not gonna live, so I'm just gonna pinch it off. Oh, well, I just broke that one too, so never mind. I'm just gonna throw that whole one away. We'll just put these ones in there. Part of gardening is killing a lot of plants while you're learning how to not kill a lot of plants. Sad, but true. And I'll put the last one over here. And I'll put the daikon radish right here, well, the tag right there. So what I just did is add this, or these two, and these two daikon radishes, and then in this container I added this, and that French breakfast radish. I need to come harvest some spinach soon also. And those are the sad Napa cabbages. And the pak choi I just harvested. Nice. Came back out to the garden to get my harvesting knife and realized I didn't really film an outro for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming along in my garden to check on it after the storm and through the greenhouse. I really appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along, and I'll see you on the next one.